want to do a quick video on pressure. I've received a lot of questions on how to apply the right kind of pressure to your marker when you're lettering. So if you'd like to follow along, please grab any marker that has a flexible tip, and that way we can get started. For this video, I'll be using a Pentel Fluted Touch brush sign pen. It's a brush pen, so that way it's flexible, and a Rhodia pad. Rhodia paper pads are fantastic because they're gentle on your markers and pens since they have smooth paper inside, and that way the tips won't fray as quickly. I do use some of my pens on more abrasive papers like watercolor paper, but at least for practice you can try to preserve them a little more. So Rhodia pads come in all sizes and shapes, and in dot, grid, or even blank paper as well, so I would definitely look those up. When applying pressure to your marker tip, there are three basic principles. All of your upstrokes are going to be thin, all of your downstrokes are going to be thick, and you need to use your marker at an angle. This one's really important because if you use it straight up and down, directly on the center of the tip, the effect won't be the same and you can damage your tip even faster, which can be really frustrating. First will be our upstrokes. You want to apply as little pressure as possible to make a line on the paper. It's really easy to get shaky lines because you're being so careful not to apply too much pressure, so just take your time and run through the exercises slowly. I know it can be a little frustrating, but totally worth it. And make sure to practice going from the bottom of your line to the top, as well as the top to the bottom. Make sure to do as many of these drills as you want. I'm doing just a very short piece here, so you guys are not staring at me for a really long time doing the same stroke. So you can do these with any marker, any pen, as long as it's flexible, and just do it as many times as you need. Doing it on a grid or dotted paper is always easier because you can try to be more consistent by lining them up. But if you only have blank paper, that's fine too. Next, we will move on to our downstrokes. Here's where you will apply more pressure to your marker to get that thicker line. One marker can create many size strokes. So of course, the more pressure you apply, the thicker it will be. So it depends on how thick you want that letter to be is how much pressure you'll apply. As long as the pressure is consistent throughout all of your letters, any of them is fine. Keep in mind that you do want to use your pen slightly at an angle so you're not using the pen directly on the it's dead center of the tip. Now we're going to combine the upstroke and the downstroke together, so that way you can get used to transitioning from one to the other. And I'm starting with the downstroke first, and then curving into the upstroke and going up, creating kind of like a little letter U. So do that a few times, and then I'm going to go into doing my upstroke and then curving over into my downstroke, which creates basically like a little letter lowercase n. If you're having any trouble with the transition, it's because you're holding down your marker with too much pressure all the way to the bottom. In order to create that tapered line where it starts to get thin, so that way it easily and smoothly transitions into the upstroke, you want to go ahead and start relieving the pressure about halfway down instead of all the way down there, because if not, then it's going to kind of create like a more chunky, jagged edge instead of a smooth curve. Next, we're going to practice transitioning twice. So you're going to be going from a downstroke into an upstroke and then back down. After that, you'll work on going from an upstroke into a downstroke and then back up again. I've only done a few since they take up more space, but please feel free to do more. After you have the hang of going up to down and down to up, once you feel like you've got that pressure going, then you can work on making sure that both sides are consistent. So that little curved area, whether it's going up or down, you want to make sure they're both the same width, so that way it helps you control how much space you have in between each stroke. Once you get the hang of transitioning from your upstrokes to your downstrokes and back again, you're essentially going to repeat the same thing, except this time they're all going to be connected in one continuous line. So you're just going to go upstroke, downstroke, and vice versa, just to help you practice that flow. So basically we've been building up each individual little stroke for this one exercise where you continuously practice the upstroke and downstroke. So these are your basic exercises and drills to help you practice your pressure. So remember to practice with all kinds of markers and flexible tips because each one will be different. Even the same marker will give you different kinds of thicknesses depending on how much pressure you have. So make sure to practice with different pressures for each marker as well. So I'm just leaving you with an uppercase alphabet all in real time, just so you can see how my pen tip moves while I create each stroke. So hopefully that will help you when you're doing your letters and your alphabets. I really hope you've enjoyed this video and it's been helpful. If you have any questions that maybe I didn't answer in this video or just anything about pressure with your pens, please feel free to ask me in the comments below. I hope you guys have a great day and happy lettering!